fresh week when I stay at home, and I
Hmm.
just yes, I do something to relax myself, like watching K-dramas or something. Yes, just
Okay,
to relax.
right. Oh, that's good. So do you have to do any other study?
Yes, of course. I had to learn to throughout summer to prepare for my next grade.
Okay, so you are already studying.
Yes,
Okay. I hope you're having some relaxing time as well.
yes, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. How is the weather in Hanoi today, Mingna?
I think it's pretty hot. It's
Pretty hot.
extremely hot. Yeah.
Extremely hot. Okay. Your English conversation very good, Mingna.
Yes.
No, perfect. Perfect. When I ask you these questions, you always reply exactly correctly.
Yes, thank you. I just pop
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. No, you're great. Chung Hu. Xin chao, Chung Hu.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks.
Good. Good. What have you been doing this week, Chung Hu?
I've been like cleaning my house
Yes.
this weekend.
Cleaning your house. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Your mum must be very pleased with you for that. I hope your mum is happy, Chung Hu. Good. Um, Mrs. Ha. Chao M. No,
Oh,
she can't
hello,
hear
teacher.
me yet.
Yes. Mhm.
You are there. You are there. Sorry, I thought you had gone away.
No. Okay.
Okay. So Ming Nok tells me it's very warm there today again.
uh, yes, really hot.
Wow. Okay. I'd be happy to swap again. Today it was -1 in the morning here.
Really, yeah.
-1. Yeah. Very
Mhm.
cold. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
today Liên and Khánh Uyên are absent.
Sorry, who is?
Liên and Khánh Uyên.
Lian and Kang Eun.
Yes, Khánh Uyên.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Actually, I noticed in the last lesson Nok Ha was absent.
Yeah.
I think she was telling me she is going to Phu Quoc.
Yes, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
going
I
to Phu
forgot.
Quoc with her.
Yeah.
I guess Phu Quoc is very popular at this time of year.
Yes.
I guess many
No,
people travel there.
everywhere in south of Vietnam are
Right.
crowded. Yeah.
Everyone goes south because is it
Yes.
cooler there? Is it cooler in the south?
There are many seas.
Oh, right. So there are many beaches. Many beaches.
Beaches, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So is is Paula looking forward to her trip to Thailand?
Yeah, because because I do not talk to her.
Right. Okay. Well, she was saying to me, when am I going? She said, what day? When am I going?
Yeah.
He was very, very relaxed about
Mm-hmm.
it. Very funny. Very funny. Okay. Who else is here? Bao Lang. Xin chào Bao Lang.
Hello, teacher.
Kong Te Nao.
I'm doing great.
It's great. What have you been doing this week, Bao Lang?
I just go to the extra class and stay at home
Right.
to do my work.
Right. What extra classes?
I study math and literature.
Right. Okay, math and literature. Okay. Okay. And do you get some time to relax?
Yes, of course, because we are in like summer break.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, good. Good. Okay, glad you get some time to relax. Ha Ling, Chao Gon.
Teacher,
How are you, Ha Ling?
I'm good.
Good. And Ming Tam. Ming Tam. Hi,
Hello.
Ming Tam. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Okay, everyone, can you please turn your cameras on? Thank you, Ming Tam. I can see you. Bao Lang, I can see you. Ha Ling. That is a very pretty picture on your wall, Ha Ling. Looks like, is it flower? Is it?
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like a rose, maybe? Not sure. I'm not very good with flowers. Do you know what sort of flower it is, Harling?
Yeah, I don't know too.
Don't know either. Okay, I don't know either. Okay. Thank you, Ming Nok. I can see you. Chung Hu, I can see you. That's great. Okay, everyone. So I think we will get started. Thank you all for being on time, and I hope you've all had a good week and it's not too hot where you are. Hope you are managing to stay cool. What we're going to be doing this week, we're going to be doing, as usual, more speaking. Going to be looking at words you can use instead of saying or ah. So we're going to be looking at that in just a moment. And just waiting for Zhao Ming to join us. Chao Gon, Zhao Ming.
Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
That's great. Good. Can you turn your camera on, please, Zhao Ming?
Yes. Give me a minute.
Okay, sure. Okay, just checking what we're doing. All right. That's great, Zhao Ming. Good to see you. See you very clearly now. Yeah, the signal is very good from your house, Zhao Ming.
Yes.
And also Ha Ling and Ming Tam see you very clearly. Okay, almost like you are next door, not 10,000 kilometers away. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, everyone, is going to do a short test. We're going to be looking at, I will just share this with you now. Phrasal verbs. What is a phrasal verb? Phrasal verbs are verbs that consist of a verb and a particle. For example, look up, go through, make out. There are dozens and dozens of phrasal verbs in English. So you know what a verb is. A particle is a small word which you already know as prepositions or adverbs, such as about, around, at, away, back, down, for, in, into, off, on, out, over, etc. Okay, lots of prepositions and adverbs. So the idea with a phrasal verb, like I say, there are many, many of these in English, is to learn them all as one unit or as a collocation. So we'll be doing a little bit of practice on that now. So you don't just think of the individual words, such as, for example, look up. You don't think about look, and you don't think about up. You think of it all together. Look up, look up. So you think of it, as I say, as a unit or as a collocation. So what we're going to do, and the reason why we're practicing this, by the way, is that a lot of the mistakes that I hear are to do with phrasal verbs, both in your speaking and your writing. So the more practice you get about these, the better. So these first 5 sentences, okay, contain a number of phrasal verbs. So I'm going to ask you one by one what the correct phrasal verbs, or to identify rather the phrasal verbs in these sentences. To save a bit of time, I'm not going to get you to do all of them, but I will ask each of you one of these. So, Ming Nok, you are first. Ming Nok,
Yes.
can you please read sentence 1 for me?
Yes. Number 1, I sent out the order last week, but the goods haven't turned up yet.
Good. Okay. What are the 2 phrasal verbs in the sentence,
Yes.
Ming Nok?
Yes, these are sent off and turned up.
Correct. Okay, everyone. So sent off, okay, is the first phrasal verb. Turned up. Turned up. Ming Nok, what does turned up mean in this sentence? The goods haven't turned up yet.
Yes, turn up. It's arrived. It's haven't
Correct.
arrived.
Excellent, Ming Nok. Okay, turned up, everyone, is a synonym for arrived. Okay, what I ordered hasn't arrived yet. Turned up, turned up. All these, by the way, are very, very common English phrasal verbs. People use them all the time. So if you want to sound like a fluent speaker and like a native speaker, you need to be able to use these phrasal verbs. So sent off. Okay, it's just another way of saying sent. I sent my order last week, but it's often paired with off. Sent off. Sent off. The goods haven't turned up yet. Thank you, Ming Nok. Chung Hu. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Can you please read sentence number 2, Chung Hu?
I came across an interesting book in the library and note down the time.
Okay. What are the 2 phrasal verbs in this sentence, Chung Hu?
Came across
Mm-hmm.
and note down.
Noted down. Noted down.
Note,
Okay.
noted down.
Good. Okay. Came across and noted down, the 2 phrasal verbs. Came across means found. Okay. Is a synonym for found. I came across. I found an interesting book in the library, and noted down is a synonym for wrote down. Wrote down the title. Noted down. Number 3, please. Bao Lang.
Yes,
Sentence 3, please. Bao Lang.
the aircon was playing up and then the car broke down. The
Okay.
phrasal verb in this sentence is playing up and broke down.
Good. Perfect. Playing up and broke down are the 2 phrasal verbs in this sentence. Bao Lang, what does playing up mean? The aircon was playing up.
I know it in Vietnamese, but I think
In English?
it's like terrible or like can't be used anymore.
Not quite. Okay, so playing up means not working properly. Not working properly. So it means it's working a little bit, okay, a bit like the internet sometimes. You know, sometimes the internet, especially when we are talking Bao Lang, sometimes we get a good connection, sometimes we don't. So one way we can talk about that is we can say, oh, the internet is playing up this afternoon. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Means maybe the picture is a little bit blurry, maybe the sound is not so good. So you can still hear something and still see something, but it's not that good. So playing up doesn't mean terrible or doesn't mean doesn't work anymore, just means there's some problem with it. Okay? So the aircon was playing up means there's some problem with the aircon. What does broke down mean, Bao Lang? The car broke down.
The car broke down is like broke or
Yes.
like
Yeah, you are on the right track. Means it doesn't work. Okay. There's some major problem with it. The car broke down. My motorcycle broke down. The bus broke down. Okay. Usually use it to talk about some machine, okay, that isn't working and that was working before. Broke down. Broke down. Okay, so for all of you who are not sure of this, this is a good phrase to add to your vocabulary. Playing up just means a problem. Playing up. Usually a problem with a machine. You can also apply it to a person, by the way. My little sister was playing up today. Means she was being a nuisance. Means she had some problem. So you can use it with people as well as machines. Does that make sense to you, Bao Lang?
yes.
Okay, good. Ha Ling.
I brought up this item at the last meeting. It's time to sort out the problem.
Okay, and the 2 phrasal verbs?
It's brought up and sort out.
Good. Okay, just careful your pronunciation with this. Sort out. Sort out.
Sort out.
Sort out. Good. Okay, sort out. Brought up. Okay, I brought up means I brought up this item at the last meeting, means I talked about. To bring something up is to talk about something. I talked about this item at the last meeting. Sort out. What does sort out mean? Haling? Sort out. It's time to sort out the problem. What does that mean?
I think it's like deal with.
Correct. Okay, means deal with, fix, or solve. Okay, if you sort out a problem, you are dealing with it, you are fixing it, or you are solving the problem. Sort out. Again, as I said before, it's worth remembering these. These are all very common phrasal verbs. If you use them, it will help make you sound more fluent in English, more like a native speaker. Number 5, Ming Tam. Ming Tam.
I wish he stopped messing us about. He's put the meeting up 3 times and now he wants to call it up altogether.
Okay, 3 phrasal verbs. Ming Tam, what are they?
It's put off, call up, and
What is the other one?
stop about.
Okay, so this one little bit tricky. A phrasal verb can have more than 2 words. Okay, so in this case, it is messing us about.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
messing us about. So it can have 3 words, a phrasal verb. Messing us about is the first one. This one here, put off, is the phrasal verb, but you will notice what is different, Ming Tam, is it has the noun in the middle. Okay, he's put the meeting off. So put off is the phrasal verb, but sometimes it can have a noun in the middle. Okay, and this one again is another 3-word phrasal verb. Call it off. Call it off. Okay, Ming Tam, stop messing us about. What does that mean? Any idea?
I don't know.
Okay, it means stop wasting our time. If someone messes you about, it means they are wasting your time. Okay, they are doing something to annoy you or irritate you. For example, Ming Tam, you might have made an arrangement to meet your friend for lunch at 12 p.m. Okay, but they don't turn up. Okay, and you have to wait for them for 20 minutes, half an hour. They are messing you about. They are wasting your time. Does that make sense, Ming Tam?
Yes.
Okay, messing you about just means someone is wasting my time. They are doing this to annoy me. Okay, all right, Ming Tam, call it off. Ming Tam, call it off. What does that mean?
I think call is or it to cancel something.
Correct. You are correct, Ming Tam. Call it off just means to cancel something. Okay, to stop something. Call it off. Call it off. And again, remember, you treat these phrases like collocations. Call it off. Call it off just means to cancel. Okay, thank you, Ming Tam. Zha Ming.
Yes.
Okay, Zha Ming. Okay, now we're looking at these sentences where the phrasal verbs have been a bit mixed up. Okay, can you please read sentence 1 for me, Zha Ming?
She looked the children after when their mother was in the hospital.
Okay, can you correct the sentence for me, Zha Ming?
She looked after the children when their mother was in the hospital.
Okay, very good, Zha Ming, is correct. She looked after the children. Okay, so the phrasal verb should be looked after. Okay, not looked the children after. Okay, needs to be looked after the children when their mother was in the hospital. Very good, Zha Ming. Ah, Nok Ling has joined us. Cao Gon, Nok Ling. Cao Gon.
Hello, teachers.
How are you, Nok Ling?
I'm great.
Good to see you. Okay, sentence number 2. Nok Ling, can you read it for me, please?
We ate out a wonderful dinner last night.
Okay, this sentence is not correct, Nok Ling. How do you correct it?
I
What
think
can you do?
we ate our dinner wonderful last night.
Not quite. Ming Nok, I'll let you try this one as well. Ming Nok, number
yes.
2.
The one is highlighted.
Yes.
Yes. We ate out a wonderful dinner last night.
Yeah, so that's not correct. How can you correct this sentence using the same words?
I think it's not out. We removed the word out. I'm not sure.
But we still need it. Where does it go, Ming Nok? We still need to use it. Where does it go?
Here. I have just muted.
Yeah.
Yes, we ate a wonderful dinner out last night.
Is correct. Very good, Ming Nok. Okay, everyone. So this sentence number 2, okay, is an example, all right, of this, okay, of the noun. So ate out is the phrasal verb, but for it to make sense, it needs the noun and the adjective in the middle. Okay, same as this one. He's put the meeting off. Okay, so it should be, we ate a wonderful dinner out last night. Okay, so that's an example of where the phrasal verb is actually split in half, which happens sometimes, split in half by, in this case, an adjective and a noun. And again, this is by the way, this is a very common mistake when people are learning English. Okay, so that's one reason why we are doing this exercise. When I see students writing and hear they're speaking, often the phrasal verbs get mixed up. So this is a good example of this. We ate a wonderful dinner out last night. You didn't eat out, you ate the wonderful dinner. Okay, last one of these, Chung Hugh, number 3.
It was a beautiful summer evening, so I asked out for a drink.
Okay. What is the correct sentence? Thank you.
I would like to change to, so I asked her out for a drink.
Correct. It was a beautiful summer evening, so I asked her out for a drink is correct. So again, phrasal verb has been a bit mixed up. Good. So I hope this is being some useful practice for you. So sometimes phrasal verbs are followed by a particular preposition to make a 3-part verb. So this is a unit that consists of 3 words, a collocation that consists of 3 words. So try to learn these prepositions with the phrasal verbs. These 3-part verbs or 3-word collocations are very common in English. So if you learn the whole collocation, means you don't have to think about all the time, or what preposition goes with this verb, and so on. Just a little bit of practice at this then. So these are the 4 prepositions: with, to, against, and on. So you have to choose which preposition goes in which sentence. Bao Lang, number 1, please.
Her son is so horrible. I don't know how she put up with him.
Correct. Puts up with, okay? Very common collocation and a very common 3-part verb. Puts up with. You put up with something. Put up with. Bao Lang, what does this adjective mean? Horrible.
Is like so bad or
Correct. Yeah, good. Good. It's exactly right. Horrible means you are very, very bad. Something is very, very bad. Can be used for people, can be used for something like weather. The weather today in Hanoi is horrible. It is too hot or too wet. Okay, so horrible, the adjective just means very, very bad. Ha Ling, number 2.
I'm looking forward to the weekend.
I'm looking forward to the weekend is correct. Looking forward to is the collocation. Looking forward to. Again, these 3 words come together like a package, a unit. Looking forward to. Just the same as the previous one, put up with. Looking forward to. Not looking forward with or looking forward on or looking forward against. Okay, that is not correct English. Looking forward to. Number 3, Ming Tam.
He's been going out with him for 6 months now.
Correct. She's been going out with. Going out with is the collocation. Going out with. Number 4, Zha Ming.
Yes,
Number 4.
she seems to look down on people who are less intelligent than her.
Good. She looks down on people who are less intelligent than her. Okay. Look down on, don't just use with people. For example, if you live in a high apartment, you look down on the street. You look down on the traffic. Okay. Look down on is the collocation. Look down on. Not look down with or look down to or look down against. Look down on. Number 5. Nok Ling.
I come up with a serious problem when I try to save my work.
Okay, is one correct answer. It can be came up with. Okay, but there is also another word here that is actually a little bit better. Which one, Nockling?
I don't know.
See the choice of 4 words. Which one?
I don't know.
Can you guess? Try, Nockling. Guess which one.
I think is came up on.
No, it's not in this sentence. It's actually this one. Nockling, against. I
Yes.
came up against a serious problem. This is the phrase you use, okay? Well, when you have a serious problem. I came up against a serious problem. You use with, Nockling, when you are using a sentence like, I came up with a solution. I came up with a solution. But when you're talking about some problem, you use came up against. Okay? Against something means to push up against something. Okay? It's a very common phrase when you're talking about problems in English. I came up against a serious problem. Can you say that for me, please, Nockling?
I came up against.
Yeah, I came up against. Finish the sentence, Nockling.
I came up against a serious problem when I tried to save my work.
Good. It's perfect English. Okay. I came up against a serious problem. So you come up against something when you're talking about a problem. But also you can have I came up with. And you can also have I came up to. Depends what the rest of the sentence says. I came up to Hanoi from Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, is correct in that sentence. I came up with the money to pay the shop. I came up with the money. But in this sentence, it is I came up against a serious problem. All right, number 6, Ming Nok.
Yes. To save money, the company decided to do away with free parking for staff.
Is correct. Do away with. To save money, the company decided to do away with free parking for staff. Ming Nok, do away with means?
I will give it like the synonym for get rid of something.
Correct. Is absolutely correct. Do away with means to get rid of something, throw something away. All right. It also, by the way, as well as things, you can do away with things. I do away with my pen. It doesn't work anymore. Do away with my phone. Okay, it's too old. You can also use it with people. Means its meaning is slightly different. If you do away with someone, means to kill them. Did you know that, Ming Nok?
I haven't heard about the meaning with people.
Okay, so yeah, if you use it with people, which you can do, means to get rid of people. Okay, means to kill them. Okay, all right. I don't like Fuong. I'm going to do away with her. Okay, you can use it like that. Means I'm going to get rid of her, kill her. So it's used informally, meaning to kill someone. All right, and the final one of these, Chung Hugh. Chung Hugh.
Yeah.
Number 7.
How can some students get away with doing no work and still pass the exams?
Okay, that's a good question. How can some students get away with doing no work and still pass the exams? I don't know either. But yes, get away with is the collocation, okay? Get away with, get away with. All right. Are there any questions about any of those phrasal verbs? All of the ones we've looked at are all very, very common in English, and they are worth remembering because, like I say, if you use them, it will make you sound like a more fluent speaker if you can use phrasal verbs correctly. All right. Time to practice some speaking. Okay, Bao Lang.
Yes.
Okay, can you see the page with fillers on it? Fillers for
Yes.
Ielts speaking. Okay, so fillers, everyone, fillers are what everyone. I don't know that this happens in Vietnamese, but it's when people, when they can't think of something to say, they will say or make a sound like or Is that the same in Vietnamese, Bao Lang? Do people use fillers?
Yes.
In
But
Vietnamese as well?
yeah.
Okay, all right. So in English, these are noises you make when you are trying to think of what to say. And because in the IELTS test, of course, you are being judged or marked on your fluency, you want to use fillers like and as little as possible. Okay? So, by the way, this one here, Ming Nok.
Yes.
Ming Nok, I'm asking you this one because you are quite good at idioms, at colloquial language, Ming Nok. Can you see what I have highlighted?
Yes, cat got your tongue.
Yes. Can you guess what this might mean? Can you guess?
Yes. I guess it like I know that some people have something that they can talk it. They say it out loud.
Sort of, okay. It's got nothing to do with cats, by the way. All right.
Yeah.
All it means, everyone, cat got your tongue. It is a colloquialism that means you can't speak. Okay, you can't think means you can't think of what to say. Does that make sense, Ming Nok?
Yes, I know it.
Someone asks you a question and you can't think of what to say immediately. Okay? And the English colloquialism or idiom for that is cat got your tongue. Very old. Don't hear it much these days. Very, very old fashioned. But if you ever see this, that's what it means. If someone says cat got your tongue, means you can't think of anything to say. Why don't you say something? That's what it means. Okay, so another couple of examples of filler words are you know and like. All right, young people, as I'm sure you know, say like a lot in sentences in English. Okay, don't need to say that. Like is a filler word that you shouldn't use. It's okay in casual conversation with your friends, but not okay to use in a test or exam. All right. Like is a very common one. You know is the one that I often used to use when I was your age. My teachers would always say to me, stop saying you know at the end of every sentence. You know. Okay. They are just filler words. They don't mean anything. They're just words you are trying to say while you are trying to think of what else to say. All right. So, like I say, these words, you know, like, okay, they are not good for the test. So instead, you need to use fillers like this. Ha-Ling.
Yes.
Okay, please read the first filler.
That's an interesting question.
Good. Okay, next one. Ming Tam.
Honestly, I never thought about that before.
Good. Okay. Next one. Xiaoming.
That is a good point.
That's a good point. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. Okay. Next one, please. Nochling.
That is a tricky one, or that is a tricky tough one.
Okay. So both these, of course, are separate words. You can say that's a tricky one, means that's a difficult one. Okay. Tricky is a casual, informal word for difficult. That's a tricky one, or that's a tough one. Tough also means difficult. These are all things you can say at the beginning of an answer instead of saying, well, okay. These are all things you can say instead of using the fillers that are not good. And finally, the last one, Jiaming.
Yes,
Jiaming. The
that's
last one.
that's a good question, or that's a good point. I will need a second to think about it.
Good. Okay. So again, these are all phrases or sentences you can use to start a sentence, start an answer, while you are thinking about what to say next, instead of saying or Okay. So, just to summarize, that's an interesting question. Honestly, I've never thought about that before. That's a good point. That's a tricky one. That's a tough one. That's a good question. That's a good point. I'll need a second to think about that. Okay. So here are two examples of how you can use it to answer questions, which we're going to practice in just a moment. So this first question here is Ming Nok.
Yes.
Okay, can you please read the question?
Yes. What types of film are popular in your country?
Good. Chung Hu, can you please read the answer, which begins with a simple filler? Please read the answer, Chung Hu.
Honestly, I've never really thought about what movies other people are watching.
Good. Okay, so honestly means, it's true. I've never really thought about what movies other people were watching. Okay, so this is a good way to start a question instead of saying, what types of films are popular? I don't know. Okay, you give an answer like this. Okay, next example of this. Bao Lang.
Yes. What is the oldest place in your hometown?
Good. Okay, and Ha Ling, the answer.
Wow, that's an interesting question. I will need a second to think about it.
Okay, good. Okay, so you can see this is an excellent way to answer a question when you are not exactly sure of the answer straight away. What's the oldest place in your hometown? Wow, that's an interesting question. Haven't thought about that much before. I'll need a second to think about it. While you are saying that, of course, you are thinking about what to say next. What is the oldest place in your hometown? Okay. So again, as we've just discussed, the benefits of using fillers, they get you extra time to think. Okay, even while you were saying these fillers, all right, giving you a chance to think about what can I say next? How can I answer this question? What is the oldest place in Hanoi? Wow, that's an interesting question. Need to think about that for a second. The oldest place in Hanoi. Is it one of the bridges? I'm not sure. Okay. Fillers like this, okay, improve your fluency. You will sound more like a native speaker. All right, sound more natural. Okay, and also another benefit is they lengthen your answer even when you don't have much to say on the topic. So even just having a sentence like this, particularly in a part 1 question, which I'm sure most of you remember, you only need 2 or 3 sentences to answer a part 1 question. Okay, a filler sentence can be your first sentence. Wow, I'm not sure about that. That's interesting. I'll have to think about that for a moment. Okay, I've already 1 or 2 sentences into my answer. Okay. So using these fillers, okay, I'm going to ask you each of these questions, and I want you to use one of these fillers to start your answer. Okay, where did I get up to? Ming Tam, think I got up to you.
Yes.
Okay, Ming Tam. Okay, do you know what I want you to do? I will ask you a question, and you have to start your answer with one of these. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Ming Tam. Do you have a favorite teacher?
That is an interesting question. Yes.
Yeah, keep going. You have to keep going and give your answer now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, start again. Start again, Ming Tam. Now you know what to do. Ming Tam, do you have a favorite teacher?
That is an interesting question. That I have another favorite teacher. She teaches me much.
Okay, good. That's fine, Ming Tam. That's all you have to say. Just want you to practice. This is what I want you all to do. Practice using the filler sentence. Okay, then go on and give me some sort of answer for 1 or 2 sentences. Okay. Xiaoming.
Yes.
Do you like watching basketball?
Honestly, I have never thought about that before.
Yeah, keep going, Xiaoming. Remember what
Uh,
I said? You have to then give the rest of your answer.
yeah. Honestly, I have never thought about that before because I don't like to play basketball. I'm not interested about it.
Okay, I'm not
interested
Interested.
in,
Interested in it.
yes,
Okay.
in
All
it.
right. Xiaoming will do the whole thing again. Now you have the idea. Okay. Xiaoming, do you like watching basketball?
Yes.
Yeah. Now you give your answer, Xiaoming.
Can you say it again? My
Yeah.
I have some problem with my audio.
Okay. So same question again, Xiaoming. Do you like watching basketball?
Honestly, I have never thought about that before because I don't like to play basketball. I I'm not interested in basketball. I
Okay. Yep, that's good. That's all I need, Xiaoming. Just a
yes.
couple of sentences. That's good. That's better. Thank you. Nok Ling.
Yes.
Nok Ling. Do you ever go to a museum?
That's a good question. I'll need a second to think about it. I have go to the museum many times with my friends and my teacher to learn about history, and I think it's an interesting place.
Okay, that's fine, Nok Ling. Good. Thank you. Okay, that's good. Perfect. So you use the filler question, sorry, filler sentence perfectly. Okay, then went on to answer the question. That's good, Nok Ling. Okay. Ming Nok.
Yes.
If you didn't live in Vietnam, what country would you like to live in?
Honestly, I never thought about that before because Vietnam is my oh, can I start again? Yes.
Sure.
Can you ask the question again?
Absolutely. Ming Nok, if you didn't live in Vietnam, what country would you like to live in?
That's an interesting question. So recently I have learned a lot about orange country and I find that I'm into Japan. That was such a clean and fresh country with a lot of trees and it also really tranquil. Yes, it really
Really,
tranquil that
it's really tranquil. Good. That's fine, Ming Nok. That's all I need. Good. Good. And by the way, Ming Nok did something then which is very interesting and worth remembering. What she did was when she realized that she had made a little bit of mistake, she said, what did you say, Ming Nok? What did you say?
oh, I think I just need to ask again.
Correct. Okay, you can do that during an exam. All right? Because I think I've mentioned this to you before, but I will mention this again, and I will keep on mentioning it. The Ielts test is not just a test of English, it's also a test of communication, of how you can communicate with the examiner. Okay, and communicating with the examiner is not different. It's not different than talking, say, with your parents, with your any other relative, with your friends. Okay, so you can say, I'm sorry, I'll start that again. I didn't mean to say that. What I mean to say is, these are things that you would say quite naturally if you are talking with your parents or with your friends, and you can say that in the exam as well because it is a natural part of conversation. Ming Nok, does that make sense to you?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, so it is okay if you make a mistake or if you start off a sentence and you think, hang on, I've just thought of a better sentence. You can say, sorry, I'll start that again. Okay, and that is fine.
Yes.
Okay, that is absolutely fine because that is part of natural communication. And like I say, that is what the Ielts test is actually about. Not just English, not just about pronunciation and grammar. It's also about just how well you can communicate with someone, talk to someone. Okay, thank you, Ming Nok. Tung Hu.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Chung Hu. Which would you rather eat? Ice cream or pho?
That's an interesting question. But I would prefer ice cream because it's really good um for dealing with the heat from some in summer.
Good. All right. Perfect. Perfect, Chung Hu. Excellent conversation. Good communication. Bao Lang,
Yes.
if you didn't live in Vietnam, what country would you like to live in?
Honestly, I've never thought about that before because Vietnam is really, perfect for me. But if I had a chance, I really want to go to France because I'm really interested in their culture and their food. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Bao Lang, that's great. Great answer. Perfect. Okay, and last one of these, Ha Ling.
Yes.
Ha Ling. Do you enjoy shopping, Ha Ling?
Um, that is a tricky one, but shopping is not my cup of tea. If I can choose, I would choose stay at home to watching a movie.
Good, Ha Ling. Perfect answer. Okay, and very good use of the colloquialism, Ha Ling, too. Not my cup of tea. Very good. Okay, for those of you who haven't heard this before, Ha Ling, what does "it's not my cup of tea" mean? What does that mean?
Like, it's not my favorite.
Correct. Okay, or it's even a bit more than that, Ha Ling. It means it's not something I like.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's not something I like to do. For example, do you like watching football? No, it's not my cup of tea. I would rather read a book. Okay, so it just means something you don't really like. Not my cup of tea. All right, is a very common English colloquialism. Not my cup of tea. So again, worth remembering. Okay, everyone. So I hope you can remember to say these at the start of your answers instead of saying or or well, okay? Because those sorts of noises aren't helping your fluency score. These sorts of answers will help your fluency score. Okay? They will also give you a second or so to think of what your answer should be, and they will also help you use up time. That's an interesting question. What country would I rather live in instead of Vietnam? I think I would rather live in Japan or Korea if I couldn't live in Vietnam, because, okay, so I hope you have written these down because, like I say, these will help you sound more like a native speaker if you answer questions using one of these phrases. Any questions before we finish this? Okay. What we're going to do for the rest of the lesson is we're going to finish off our answer that we started, that we worked on last week, to this table. Remember, this table talks about the quality of life in 5 different countries. It uses 4 different categories or 4 different measures of the quality of life. GNP per head, daily calorie supply, okay, which is a measure of how much food you get a day, how long you can expect to live, all right, and how many babies die. How many babies die? These are all good measures of the quality of life in a country. Okay, so Last week, I got you to write the overview. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get you to write the detail paragraphs. While you are doing that, I will come around each of you and I will discuss what you did for the overview last week, okay, and how you can change it. But just before we start this, let's discuss what we're going to put in our detail paragraphs. So my first question to you, Jiaming,
Yes.
do we have to, in a task one answer like this, do you have to write about every detail you can see? Yes or no?
No.
No is correct. Okay, you can see there's a lot of information in this table. 5 different countries. Okay, they all have different numbers. Okay, you don't write about everyone for the detail paragraph. You just pick out the ones that are the most interesting or are the most significant or show the most difference between one country and another. So, because you've only got 150 words, remember, to write your task one answer. So you don't have enough words and you don't have enough time to write about every single thing in the table. You just pick out the most interesting ones. Nok Ling.
Yes.
Okay, Nok Ling. Now, this one is a little bit tricky, okay? But remember, you've got 2 detail paragraphs, okay? Can you think about how you can divide the information on this graph into 2? Do you have any idea? Do you know what I'm asking you, Nok Ling?
Yes, I think the first is Bangladesh and USA, and Bolivia, Egypt, and Indonesia is another group.
Okay, that's good, Nok Ling. This is one way you can do it. Now, I will say to you, remember, there is not one correct answer to any of these questions, any of these graphs, okay? So you can give several different answers as long as they make sense and as long as they are covering the main points. So Bao Ling has suggested putting Bangladesh and the USA in your first paragraph, Nok Ling, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and why did you choose Bangladesh and the USA to go together?
Because they are different, they are very different and opposite.
Correct, that's the word I was looking for, Nok Ling. Very good, they are opposites. Okay, United States, you can see straight away from this table, has got the best quality of life. Bangladesh has got the worst quality of life. You can see these 3 countries, Bolivia, Egypt, Indonesia, have got a very similar quality of life. So you can put all of them together in a paragraph. Another way you can do it, everyone, is you can look at it, instead of looking at it by country, you can look at it by category. So you can see here we've got 4 different categories. You could put GNP and calories into one paragraph, life expectancy and infant mortality, because they're both to do with how long you live. You could put those in another paragraph. That is another way you could do it. Both of those different ways, okay, are equal. Doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as what you are writing makes sense. Does that make sense to you, Ming Nok?
Yes, but I would be glad if you repeat it a little bit.
Sorry, if I would.
I would be glad if you repeat it because I have something is misheard.
Okay. So there are 2 ways of dividing up the information on this table. The first way, which is what Nok Ling suggested, is in your first detail paragraph, you can put Bangladesh and the USA together because they are opposites. And your second paragraph, you can put Bolivia, Egypt, Indonesia together because they are quite similar. So you can compare them. Does that make sense? Ming Nok?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Or another way you could do it is you have one detailed paragraph, GNP and daily calorie supply. You compare all the countries with that. And then the second detailed paragraph, you compare all the countries with life expectancy and infant mortality. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so you can choose either way. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. As long as what you are writing makes sense, number one, and also number two, covers the main features. All right. So before I get you to start writing, let's just quickly look at what the main features of this are. So obviously, you look at the table, you can see straight away, the USA is by far the richest country, if you like. Okay, they make more money than anyone else. They have more food than anyone else. They live longer. All right, so you can compare that to Bangladesh, which has the worst figures of any country on this list. Again, you don't need to compare every figure, all right, just the main ones. And then for your second paragraph, if you're doing it this way, you could look at Bolivia, Egypt, Indonesia. You could look at the ones where they are the closest and the categories where they maybe have a big difference. For example, there's quite a difference between how many babies die in Bolivia compared to Indonesia. Okay, quite a lot more. Right, so I'm going to leave it up to you now, unless you have any questions. Bao Lang, does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, good. Ming Tam.
Yes.
Okay, does this make sense to you, Ming Tam?
Yes.
Okay, good. So please, everyone, I want you to write now your 2 detailed paragraphs. Probably just about, only want 3 sentences in each paragraph, okay? 3 sentences in each paragraph. So this shouldn't take you long. If this was an exam, by the way, you'd only have 10 minutes to do this part of it. So 3 sentences in each paragraph. So please just continue on with where you were writing last time. I will share the link again with you just in case you don't have it. I will send it to you now in chat. Okay, I've sent you all the link in chat. So please click on the link and write detailed paragraphs. 2 detailed paragraphs, 3 sentences each. And as I said before, you can divide it up by country or you can divide it up by category. Up to you. Either one is fine. And while you're doing that, I'll come around and talk to you about what you did with your overview last week. Chung Hu.
Yeah,
Okay, Chung Hu, can you see your overview from last week?
yeah.
Okay, so you started off well, Chung Hu. It can be clearly seen Bangladesh. Okay, whoops. Clearly seen Bangladesh. I'll just get it back. Okay, all right. You have to use the word lowest. Okay, Chung Hu? Can you hear me, Chung Hu?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Good, okay. You have to use the word lowest, okay? Not the less. Has to be lowest, okay?
Right.
That is the correct adjective. Lowest GNP per head. Okay, this is all correct. And it had the highest. Highest is the opposite of lowest, okay? So you use those 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and instead of causing it to be, okay, you just make it much more simple. Just use 2 words, okay? Making it the poorest country. Okay, Chung Hu?
Correct.
Okay. And the rest of it is good, Chung Hyu. Any questions for me, Chung Hyu?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, good. Okay, please keep writing. Thank you, Chung Hyu. Ming Nok.
Yes.
Okay, Ming Nok, can you see your overview?
Yes, see it.
Okay, so Ming Nok, excellent overview. Okay, very good. As you can see, I haven't made any corrections.
Yes, you made a little bit is in on the other hand, but I just fixed
Oh,
this.
yes, I did change that. Did I change that last week? Yeah, on the other hand is what you should say. Okay, so meaning the opposite, looking at the opposite point of view. All right. Any questions, Ming Nok?
I find it kinda hard to like just write the data for the first two categories. I chose the second way.
Okay, you choose the second way. Okay, Ming Nok, let's have a look at this. Okay, so the first two categories are GNP per head, okay, daily calorie supply. So again, all you are looking at is the most interesting or significant figures. All right, and again, you can see there are only two things to write about here, Ming Nok. First
Yes.
one is, okay, obviously USA and Bangladesh are opposites. All right.
Yes.
So you can say the USA with GNP per head of $13,160, okay, is much richer than the poorest country in this table, Bangladesh, which only has a GNP of 140. The same applies to the daily calories that each country consumes. The USA at 3,653 consumes twice as many calories as a person in Bangladesh.
Yes.
And that is your detail paragraph number 1. Did that make sense?
Also, don't need to mention Bolivia, Egypt, and Indonesia?
You can in the next paragraph.
Oh.
So this is what I was saying before. You don't need to mention every single detail, all right?
Yes.
Or you could, as you say, you could put in just one sentence saying, Bolivia, Egypt, and Indonesia's GNP and daily calorie supply was similar. Okay?
Oh. Yes.
All right? And then you are covered. You've done everything. How does that sound?
Oh, yes, I think I get it like 50%, and I will try it.
Yeah. I'm sure you get it 100%, Ming Nok. Okay. Again,
Yes.
again, I would just summarize. So you pick out for the figures, you pick out the most interesting, or which are the fact that the USA and Bangladesh are complete opposites. Okay, and then you just quote the
Yes.
figures. All right, and you might have heard the way I did it here. I didn't just write the USA has 3,653 and Bangladesh has 1,877. What I actually said was the USA has 3,653, twice as many calories as the people in Bangladesh consume. Okay, so I did it that way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Which actually shows that I have a good vocabulary, because I'm not just using the figures all the time. I'm actually constructing the sentence a slightly different way. Okay?
Yes, I get it.
Okay, good. And then, like I say, you can have one sentence in there just saying, and GNP and daily calories for these countries was similar.
Yes.
All right. And then you do the same thing, exactly the same thing with the life expectancy and infant mortality. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll try it. Yes.
So do you get it 80% now?
I think it's 85.
Okay, that's great. good, Ming Nok. Thank you. Zhaming.
I'm here.
Okay, Zhaming. So just quickly looking at your overview, remember USA is a noun, Zhaming.
Yes.
Okay, has to have the in front of it. Okay, the USA.
Yes.
All right, and also the most in daily calories. All right, lowest infant mortality. So you need to use these adjectives. Okay, Zhaming? And just one thing you got wrong here, you said Bangladesh had the lowest infant mortality. Actually, it was the highest, Zhaming. So just be careful with your figures. Remember, infant mortality means the number of babies who die. All right, so poor Bangladesh had the most babies who die. Okay, not the lowest. Does that make sense, Zhaming?
Yes.
Okay, any questions?
No. No.
Okay, good. Okay, keep writing. Harling.
Yes.
Okay, Harling. Again, just looking at your adjectives, Harling. It's not the richest GNP, okay? Has to be highest. Richest GNP doesn't make sense. So
Okay.
you need to use highest, lowest, most, least. Okay, those adjectives, okay? Not richest, poorest. All right, and just this one here. Instead of have, need to use had. Okay, because it is what tense? Harling, what tense are
It's
we
a
in?
past tense.
Past tense, correct. Okay, so it must be had all the time. Always easiest, and because this graph is about 1982, so always easiest to write in past tense. Okay. All right. Any questions, Harling?
Yes. Can you help me about the opening sentence?
Of course. For detail paragraph number 1.
Yes.
Okay. Which way have you chosen, by the way, Harling? Do you want to look at it by category or by?
I think I would choose the categories.
Okay. So in this case, you're looking at the categories. So you're looking at the countries which have the best and worst GNP, okay, and the best and worst, okay, or the most and least daily calories. Which are those countries, Harling?
It's Bangladesh and USA.
Correct. Okay. So, looking at GNP per head, okay, is how you start, okay?
What?
Looking at GNP per head.
Okay, I hear it.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
The USA has what, Harling? What can you say next? The USA
Has the highest.
Correct. Has the highest GNP at, and that's when you use the numbers.
Thanks, teacher.
Okay, and then you say Bangladesh has the lowest GNP at, and then you have another sentence, okay. Bolivia, Egypt, and Indonesia all have similar GNPs. And then you would say, because you still need to look at this category, calories, the same applies, or it's the same thing when it comes to daily calorie supply. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay, and then again you quote the figures. Okay, and that is your first paragraph, and then you do the same thing with the next two categories for your second paragraph. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Are you sure? you sound a little bit uncertain. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. Have a go, Harling, and see how you go. All right. I think you have the general idea now. Good. All right. Ming Tam.
Yes.
Okay, so you are working on your overview, Ming Tam. It can be clearly seen that the USA, not with, okay? What should this preposition be here, Ming Tam? The USA with the richest country. With is not correct. What preposition should it be? A word with two letters, Ming Tam. Begins with I. First letter is I, Ming Tam. It is this one. Is. Okay?
Yes.
USA is the richest country with the highest GMP, the most daily country, and the least demographic. Okay, good. The rest is correct. Okay. What are you going to say here, Ming Tam? What is your sentence? On. What are the next words here, Ming Tam?
It's on the other hand.
Correct. Good, Ming Tam. That's what I wanted. Good. You are correct. Okay, keep writing, Ming Tam. Good.
Yes.
Okay. Bao Lang.
Yes.
Okay, looking at your overview, Bao Lang, from last week, you can see here, okay, I've written change the order of these sentences. The reason why I have said that, Bao Lang, is the fact that these three countries are similar is not the most interesting thing. Okay, you should put the most interesting thing first.
Yes. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the most interesting thing is that the US, I think, is the richest country, and the next most interesting thing is that Bangladesh is the worst country. Okay?
Yes, I get it.
Then you write about that the other countries were similar. Okay, so you put the most interesting thing first.
Yes.
Okay. Apart from that, your English is good, Bao Lang. Okay, the rest of it is fine. Now, do you have any question about the detailed paragraphs, Bao Lang?
I haven't done yet.
I know, but do you have any question about what to do?
Not yet.
Okay, good. Okay, keep going. Thank you, Bao Lang. Ian isn't here. Okay. Nok Ling.
Yes.
Okay, Nok Ling. So looking at your overview paragraph here, Nok Ling, it's very good. Okay, very good. The only thing I might change, Nok Ling, being picky, is this. All right. This is a little bit informal for an essay on the flip side. Okay, it is correct, Nok Ling, but it's a bit informal for an essay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so you will be better to say in an essay, on the other hand. Okay, on the flip side means exactly the same thing, but it is more informal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So on the flip side, it's great that you know that, Nok Ling. That's great. You can use that, okay, especially in conversation. Great thing to say in conversation. But when you are writing a formal essay, it's probably not the best thing to say. Better to say on the other hand. Okay. And just one correction, you can see the other three countries. Okay, I needed to put this in here, other three. So remember, please, Nok Ling, to leave space, all right, between your paragraphs.
Yes.
Okay, if you don't leave a space in the test, they will count that as a punctuation mistake. Okay, so just remember, leave a space between the 4 paragraphs. Now, Knockling, what about your detail paragraph number 1? What are you going to say, Knockling? What are you comparing in your first detail paragraph?
I will compare the GNP in USA and Bangladesh and
Yep.
the
Okay. I think it's better to start off something like this, Knockling, because you are looking at the GNP, okay? So that's what you say. You don't need to say 1982, okay? Because the graph is obviously about 1982, so you don't need to repeat that, okay?
Yes.
All right, what's the next word, Knockling?
The richest country.
Yes. Next word? Yeah, next word. Tell me, Knockling, I will type it.
Which was USA?
No, the richest country. Yeah. Next word.
With the
Yes.
highest GNP had.
Not quite, Knockling. I'll make it even more simple for you, okay? What is it, or what was it, Knockling? Can you see?
GNP per head.
Of what is the figure, Knockling? What is the GNP figure? What actually is it? What are the numbers?
Trả lời nhanh lên con.
30,160.
This, okay?
Con hiểu cái từ GNP là gì không đã?
Dạ có.
Có gì đúng không?
And that is dollars, okay? So you need that. Okay? Next word, Knockling.
Bangladesh.
Correct.
GNP of
Bangladesh was the what? What is the opposite of richest, Knockling?
the poorest.
Correct. Okay, Knockling?
Yes.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I will let you keep going now, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Okay, remember it is past tense, Chung Hu. Okay, so I'll just change this. Don't need to say in, you can just say the first country, which is Bangladesh. Okay, it is past tense, so what should this be, Chung Hu?
What?
Here, Chung Hu, this word here, what should it be?
What?
Past tense. What is past tense of has?
Had.
Correct. And this should be at, not as. Okay, and this should be dollars, remember plural. Okay, again, this one should be had, and this should be at. Okay, that is the end of that sentence. Okay, now you need to look at calories. Okay, Chung Hu? Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Okay, now you need to look at calories. So that is the end of that sentence, okay?
Correct.
Okay, so your next sentence should be about the calories, okay? Comparing Bangladesh and the USA. And then you can do one more sentence just saying the other three countries are, what are they, Chung Hu? The other three countries are, what the word begins with S.
Bolivia,
Yeah,
Egypt, and Indonesia.
there. Their GNP and calorie supplies were what? Word begins with S. Were means the same.
Slightly the same.
Okay. The word is similar. Similar, Sang Hu. Okay?
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, Ming Nok.
Yes.
Let's have a look at your first detailed paragraph. All right. Don't need to say still, okay, Ming Nok?
Yes.
Okay. You would only use the word still if we had talked about the USA before, okay, which I know we have, but not in the same sense. I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but anyway, you don't need the word still, okay?
Yes.
In the first two categories, the USA had the most significant numbers. Their GMP per head was larger than any other country. Okay, needs to be country. Especially Bangladesh with only, okay, that's fine. And also, I wouldn't use this as a consequence, right? That might be true, but we don't know that. Okay, Ming Nok, so we won't say it.
Yeah.
I would just say instead, very simple. Oops. Also, okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I used also in the second detailed paragraph, so I think it's
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. Also, very
yes.
common. Also, is a very common word, like and. All right.
Yes.
Just the saying. Okay. Doesn't matter. That is just a very small point. So don't worry about that. As long as you are using it correctly, Ming Nok. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So just be very careful when you say as a consequence. all right, because you don't know that is true. It probably is, but we don't know that, so just better to leave it out.
Yes.
Okay. Also, and I'll just make this a bit more correct, Ming-nok, there, don't need this. Okay, now that sentence is correct, okay?
Oh, yes.
Also, their daily calorie consumption, okay? Don't need to say the number of daily calorie consumption, okay? Just their daily calorie consumption. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you, Ming-nok. Okay. Jiaming.
Mình ơi,
Yes.
Okay, Jiaming, just looking at your first paragraph here, okay? Your first detailed paragraph, I would put those sentences the other way round. And the reason for that, Jiaming, is because the most interesting part of the GNP and calories is the fact that the USA and Bangladesh are opposite.
Yes.
All right, that is the most interesting part. So that should be the first sentence. The one about the other countries, Bangladesh, Bolivia, Indonesia, Egypt, okay, sorry, Bolivia, Indonesia, Egypt, okay, is that they are all similar.
Yes.
All right, so that is not so important. The most interesting thing, does this make sense, Jiaming?
Yeah.
Looking at the table, the most interesting thing is the USA has the most money, okay? The Bangladesh has the least money. USA has the most calories or the most food. Bangladesh has the least food. All right, that's the most interesting thing. These three countries, okay, are all similar. So we're not so interesting because they are all pretty similar. The most interesting thing is the difference between USA and Bangladesh. So that's why that sentence should go first in your paragraph. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you, Jiaming. Okay, everyone, we'll finish this next week. At the start of the lesson next week, then we'll go on to something else. Okay, so you can stop writing now, everyone. That is the end of the lesson for this week. You can relax. Okay. Before we go, has anyone got any questions for me? One thing I will mention, actually, I meant to mention this to the other class too, but I forgot. Thank you, Jiaming. Good to see you again. Ming-nok, can you turn your camera on, please? So I can see you to say goodbye. Thank you, Ming-nok. Okay, just be careful. I know some of the students, we haven't got on to writing part 2 yet, which we will get on to in the next few weeks. But some of the students in my other class, when they are writing the part 2 essay, they are starting to use AI too much to write their essays. So be very careful about this. AI is very useful for giving you ideas, but you cannot let it write your essay. Okay, you have to be able to write your essay. It's very tempting, I know, just to copy what AI says. But obviously, if you are just copying that, you are not learning how to do it yourself. So please resist the temptation to use AI for writing your essay. Like I say, for giving you ideas, using AI is fine. If you can't think of any ideas, AI will give you ideas. But please do the writing yourself. That's the only way you're going to improve. All right. Bakha, do you have anything to say to them?
No, nothing. Thank
All
you,
right.
teacher. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Lovely to see you all every week. Okay, as usual, if you have any questions, please ask myself or Bakha. Otherwise, have a great week, everyone, and I will see you again next Sunday.